Most small business owners are doing the same repetitive handoffs by hand every week, then calling it normal. The fix is not another giant software migration. It is 7 small Zapier automations that move information between the tools you already use. Starting with a form-to-task workflow you can build in under 15 minutes. In this video, I will show you 7 practical automations for lead capture, customer follow-up, content production, invoices, and internal requests. These are not magic robots. Each one has a clear trigger, a useful action, and a human checkpoint where it matters. You can copy the logic even if you use different apps. Before we get into the list, follow Work Smarter Daily if you want one useful AI or automation shortcut at a time, without the hype. If the first automation saves you even one missed handoff this week, you will know exactly why the next 6 are worth learning. Automation 1. Turn every new inquiry into a properly owned task. The trigger is a new response from a website form, Typeform, Google Form, or your CRM. The first action is to create a task in the project tool your team already checks. Add the person's name, request, source, and a due date. The second action can send a confirmation email or Slack message to the owner. The key is ownership. A lead that lands in a shared inbox is not assigned work. A lead that creates a named task with a deadline is. Use a filter so test submissions and incomplete forms do not create noise. Use a consistent task title, such as follow-up, name, request. If your business has a response time promise, calculate the due date from the trigger time and route urgent requests to a separate queue. Automation 2. Turn a paid invoice into a customer onboarding checklist. The trigger is a successful payment in Stripe, Shopify, or your invoicing platform. The action creates a project or checklist with the same standard steps every time. Send the welcome email, request assets, book the kickoff, add the customer to the right folder, and set the first delivery date. Add a second action that alerts the person responsible for the first human touch. This automation protects the moment after the sale. You do not need to remember that a new client exists. You need a reliable handoff. Keep payment data out of messages that do not need it. Pass only the customer name, product, email, and order reference. For sensitive financial details, let the payment system remain the source of truth. Automation 3. Capture meeting notes and create follow-up actions. The trigger can be a new note in Notion, a tagged Google Doc, or a completed meeting transcript. The action sends the notes to an AI step that extracts decisions, owners, and next actions. Then Zapier creates tasks only for the clear next actions, not every sentence in the transcript. A final message asks the meeting owner to review the list before it goes to the team. That review step matters. AI can summarize quickly, but it cannot know whether a casual suggestion became a commitment. Give the AI a strict format: decision, owner, deadline, open question. If a field is missing, it should say not specified, not invent an answer. This is a good place to use AI in 30 if you want a structured way to build prompt habits, but the workflow works with any careful prompt. Automation 4. Turn one approved idea into a content production checklist.
The trigger is a row or card moved to approved in your content calendar. The actions create subtasks for the title, outline, script, recording, edit, thumbnail, description, and publish check. It can also duplicate a folder template and notify the person who owns the next step. The result is not a finished video. The result is a visible production path. Do not auto-publish from this Zap. Keep approvals between the final asset and the public post. You can use vidIQ or TubeMagic for research and packaging, but let a person check the claim, the title, and the link before publishing. Automation 5. Log every important customer email into one searchable place. The trigger is a label in Gmail, a new support ticket, or a reply to a shared address. The action adds a dated record to your CRM, Notion database, or customer folder. Include the subject, sender, link to the original message, and a short category such as pricing, delivery, or renewal. Then notify the account owner only when the category is one that needs a response. This replaces the dangerous habit of relying on memory. You do not need to archive every email. You need a small, consistent history for the conversations that affect revenue or delivery. Set a retention rule and access permissions before you connect an inbox. Automation is not permission to copy private information everywhere. Automation 6. Create a weekly owner report from the systems you already have. The trigger is a schedule every Friday afternoon. Actions collect a small set of counts: new leads, open tasks past due, invoices waiting for payment, customer projects at risk, and content ready to publish. Send the summary to one place with links back to the records. Keep the report short enough that you can read it in 2 minutes. The mistake is trying to build a perfect business dashboard before you know which decisions the report should support. Start with 5 questions. What needs a response? What is late? What is blocked? What was paid? What is ready to ship? If a number does not change in action, remove it from the report. Automation 7. Route internal requests into a triage queue. The trigger is a form or a specific Slack or Teams reaction. The form asks for the request, desired date, business impact, and files. The action creates a task with a priority label, stores the attachments in a shared folder, and confirms receipt to the requester. A second step sends high-impact or deadline-sensitive requests to the owner immediately. Everything else goes into a queue for the next review block. This gives your team a polite alternative to interruption. The goal is not to stop people asking for help. The goal is to make the cost, timing, and next action visible. Use a filter for emergency and define what that means in plain language. Otherwise, every request becomes urgent. Now, how do you build these without creating a fragile mess? Start with one workflow and write the sentence, "When this happens, do that, so this person can make this decision." If you cannot finish that sentence, you are not ready to automate. Name every Zap after its business outcome, not the app names. New lead gets owner and due date is better than form to Trello.
Add error handling. Send failed runs to an email or Slack channel that someone checks. Test with a fake record. Check the duplicate behavior. Decide what happens if a required field is blank. And review your task history after the first week. A Zap that technically runs but creates low-quality work is not saving time. You also do not need every paid feature on day one. Use native integrations first. Use a filter to reduce noise. Use paths only when the business decision is genuinely different. If you need multi-step logic, webhooks, or high task volume, that may be the point where a paid plan earns its place. Until then, keep the workflow small and observable. For a practical setup order, build Automation 1 on Monday, Automation 2 on Tuesday, and Automation 7 on Wednesday. Run all 3 for a week. On Friday, count the handoffs that happened automatically and the ones that still failed. Then add the content or meeting workflow. This sequence gives you fast feedback before you automate the more subjective work. If you use AI inside a Zap, remember the division of labor. AI can classify, summarize, draft, and extract fields. Your business still owns approval, promises, pricing, and customer-facing claims. For voiceover or video production, 11 Labs, InVideo, and Instadoodle can speed up specific steps, but only if the result still meets your quality bar. The best automation is boring, predictable, and easy for another person to understand. The point of these 7 Zaps is not to make your business look futuristic. It is to stop losing work between the places where work starts and the places where work gets finished. Pick the handoff that fails most often, build the smallest version, and keep the human checkpoint. That is how you get time back without adding another system to babysit. If this gave you a workflow you can build this week, subscribe for weekly AI tools and automation tips. Then check the links in the description for the free cheat sheet and the templates that pair with this process. Start with one trigger, one owner, and one next action. The rest can wait.